How should you organize your application that you do not receive a query from the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland? Should you go about the query if you have already made the mistake and you have been issued with this query? There are various queries that you can receive from the board when they go through your application. And in today's video, I'm going to explain all of them, how you should have avoided them, how you can handle them if you are already making the mistake and you're receiving the query. If that is the kind of content you're interested in, please keep on watching. Hello, my name is Nmbi. On my channel, I talk about nurses migration and my life here in Ireland as a registered nurse. The first and the common query that people receive is about name variation. Now, what is name variation? Name variation query comes when you have different forms of name or different name arrangement on your document. How do you overcome this? During your application, if you are just starting, this is very important. You are going to write an explanation letter where you're going to title explanation of name discrepancy. You address this as a formal letter to Nmbi and then you upload it in one of the spaces on your portal. Let's assume your first name is Peace and your second name is Emmanuel and your last name is Sunday. So your full name when you're starting from your first name is Peace Emmanuel Sunday. And if you are starting from your last name, it will be Sunday Peace Emmanuel. So you will notice that in some of our documents in Nigeria, we like to address someone by their last name. So in some of your documents, you always see your name starting from the last name. But over here, they address you by your first name. So your name should go first, middle, and last name. But oftentimes in Nigeria, our name goes last name, first name, and middle name. So on the letter of explanation of name discrepancy, you're going to state that your first name is Peace, your middle name is Emmanuel, and your last name is Sunday. And if you are starting from first name, your name will be Peace Emmanuel Sunday. And if it is from last name, your name will be Sunday Peace Emmanuel. Also, if you're a female and you've done change of name, and probably if you are from Akwa Ibom that you've changed your last name and your middle and last name, or you're from the east where you're only changing your last name, then you're going to explain that after you've done change of name due to marriage, your name changes to, let's say for example, Peace Emmanuel Efion. So from first name, your name is now Peace Emmanuel Efion. From last name, your name is now Efion Peace Emmanuel. And that all of these four name arrangements are all correct. And that's because some institutions in Nigeria address people from their surname and not by their first name. So that will save you a whole lot of stress. But if you have already made the mistake and you have applied and you are getting this query, that is exactly what you're going to explain. Let's say you have other mistakes where your name is being mixed up, then that's going to be a lot. Which is why I advise that before you start your application, please go through your documents. If there is any way there have been a mistake, for example, your name is Eze. Eze is E-Z-E-H. And then in some of your documents, your name is only E-Z-E. Then for our Akwa Ibom people, you will see Udo, U-D-O-H. And in some documents, you will only see U-D-O. In Akwa Ibom, it's understood that they are all Udo, it's the same thing. But legally, when it appears on a document, those are two different people. If you have that kind of mistake on any of your documents, especially your passport and your nursing certificate, your nursing license, please do well to sort it out before you even begin your application. If you have watched up to this point, I know you are enjoying the video. Please check that subscribe button. If it is still red, help me subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you're going to continue seeing amazing videos just like this one. The next email that you might receive is date variations. Some people have problems with their date of birth. Now, that's very rare. That's not a common date issue. The most common date issue is the date you started school, date of admission, and date of graduation. So you want to make sure that you've gone to your school and sit down with your whoever is filling your educational, your qualification form, whoever is doing your transcript and your curriculum, your explanation letter. You have gone there to sit down and discuss with them and let the two of you agree on the date you're going to put. Because sometimes it's very tricky that on your admission letter different dates were put, and then during when they are doing the transcript they just put different dates for you. And if you go by only the one on this your admission letter, you're going to have problems, because when the date you fill on your portal is different from what is on the document, you're going to receive a query. So how you avoid is that you sit down with your school and liaise and make sure that you have agreed on a particular date to write, so that the date rhymes with everything that you need to do. Another date problem is your working date. Please, if you have started a job, you should be able to know when you started that job. If you've ended with that hospital, you should be able to know your official resignation date that you put when you send in your resignation letter. Or if you were terminated, you should know the official date, so that you know when you start a job. I have had the experience where I see that somebody put two different hospitals and then the start date of the job the same date. And even when I tried to explain it, she didn't quite understand it. So if you are starting a job in 2010 in hospital A, you should know the date, like let's say 1st January 2010 was when you started. And then let's say after 2 years you ended that job, you should know the date. The same date is what they will fill on the qualification, on the employment form for you. And the same date is what you're going to pick on your portal when you're filling. If this date differs, then you're going to receive a query for more explanation, which delays your application. If you are still currently working in that hospital, make sure that when the person filling your employment form is filling it, the person is filling, for example, 1st January 2024 till date. If that's your current unit. If you have more than one, I already have a video on how to fill an employment form. I'm sure you want to check that out so that you know what exactly to fill on the employment form. So if you are still currently working with the hospital, let them write from so date till date. And then on your portal, when you are filling the employment form for that hospital, you're going to pick today's date. If today is the day you're filling, you're going to pick today's date as the date of your end date, because there is no option for you to put till date on the portal, but you're going to put the current date, and on the form is going to be till date, and then they will understand that you're still currently working with them. So that is the next one. Please, have you subscribed to my channel? I'm sure you are enjoying this video so far. The next form of query that people get is when it comes to their qualification form, their curriculum not filled properly. Now, with the new qualification form ongoing, there are a lot of things that needs to be filled. Please make sure you go through your school to let them know to let them make sure that they fill every form. So on the qualification form, you're going to have the email, the school email, the principal email, the website, and all of those, then your theoretical hours, let them fill all of those points. Make sure they're all correct. In this case, if it was not filled um properly, the email or the query you're going to get will be for you to go back to your school and let them fill another form for you. Now, you make sure that the person signing the form, the qualification form, is the same person signing your curriculum, your transcript, and then your explanation later. The same person. Please, it should not be different people. The same person signing should sign everything. Otherwise, you're going to get a query. And when you get a query, the solution is always you go back to school. And you know, if you were like to be in a university, it's always like a struggle. Nursing school is very easy because it's just one department, you walk in and they get everything sorted. But in the university is where you have to walk from one offices to the other. It's not that simple. Another common query that somebody might receive is about your CCPS. Sometimes your CCPS is a verification, certificate of good standing, however you choose to call it, they are one and the same thing. The CCPS only just stands for the Certificate of Current Professional Status. Okay, so sometimes this is where the issue comes in. You know, with NMCN, I don't know how it is with other nursing board. When you make your payment and you pay, you will see approved. Sometimes you will see approved and they have not sent it to them. So most times, if you have enough time on your hand, what you would do to avoid this is to, you have two options. Either you wait for a certain amount of, let's say like 2 weeks, 3 weeks after it is shown approved, before you make your qualification payment, or you send an email to NMBI for them to confirm if they have received it. Now, either ways still takes time, okay? But in all the cases I've seen so far, if you receive this kind of email, all the thing you need to do is email them back, telling them that your nursing board does not give the certificate to you, that you have made the applications and it will be sent directly to them. And whenever NMB, NMCN, or any of your nursing board sends it to them, they are going to get it and they will acknowledge the receipt and go on to proceed with your application. I hope I've been able to, make it easier for you that is just starting, or if you have already started. Let me know if you receive any query from NMBI, and let me know if I'll be able to give you any um info or input on how to go about the query. And I hope you enjoy watching the video, and I'll see you in my next video.